is a very good lawyer. So whenever the U.S. government sends him a letter, he just sends it back. So they send a letter and say, I want you to identify all these people and hand over their IP addresses. And don't tell anyone that we're watching them. And then Twitter will file a countersuit. Their lawyer, Alex, will sort of say, actually, here's who you told me not to identify, and here's their names. I'll do it in the countersuit, and then it gets out. It's very clever. So Twitter's, of all the companies, at least right now, probably fairly trustworthy. Google is actually pretty good. If Google gets a letter from the United States government, from the what's called a national security letter, they will hand over your data. However, up until that point, in general, while they do definitely market your data and have quite a lot of it, Google in general is pretty good about not handing over your data to repressive regimes, not just handing over to anyone. So less good than Google is, I would say, Microsoft and Yahoo. We have evidence, of course, that both Microsoft and Yahoo have gone way out of their way to hand over data of, let's say, dissident journalists in China to the regime, which gets them in jail. Facebook, pretty terrible. You have to be very careful with Facebook. So Facebook, while Facebook we don't have any evidence that they directly cooperated with repressive regimes, they do not have a very good privacy, any legal policy. So that any of your data that you try to put out there kind of just becomes Facebook's. And so there's no sort of back hole. We don't have any evidence that they've ever defended anyone's data, and we have quite a lot of evidence that they've worked quite a lot with various agencies in order to give people data. But it all seems, it's not quite as bad as the Yahoo China reporter case. And probably a lot of people think that Skype is safe. Okay, that's not true. So Skype is encrypted, it's decentralized, it's peer-to-peer, but it's not open source. It's ran by a company which has very many shares by Microsoft, and we're pretty sure we have lots of evidence pointing to the fact that Skype has various backdoors in it. So for example, when the Egyptian folks broke into the Ministry of the Interior and found their secret police records, they were sort of surprised that all their Skype conversations were there. And they thought that their Skype conversations were safe. If you want a Skype, what we believe right now is a safe Skype alternative for chatting. For voice chat, I'd recommend Mumble. It's made by some gamers. It's really nice. For chat over text chat, I recommend Off the Record. And my last little point is that even though the web has all these really terrible security issues, even though most of the companies will hand you over to anybody with only just a little bit of pushing, except Twitter, thank you Twitter, and also thank you Google. Google's actually doing a surprisingly good job. There is work to help fix this, so we have to fix it both in the short term. So this is why we need hackers and folks to build systems which are secure. A lot of systems that we have, folks from RiseUp.net have been working on, and trying to look at decentralized alternatives to Facebook. Diaspora comes to mind. The general federated social web comes to mind. Decentralized alternatives to Twitter, and also secure alternatives working in the Internet Engineering Task Force in order to secure the domain name system itself and to fix the certificate authority problem. So there is a lot of work to be done. And the real nice thing, I think, is that the web, if you look at it, I think the web provides, it's very scary right now. The web is essentially going to be a second financial market based off your personal data. There's massive amount of money to be made there. That's what even the US government's saying. That's what the G8's saying. The G8's saying, well, maybe this financial sector didn't work out too well, but we have this massive surveillance machine. We can market and mine these people's data for tons of money. But at the same point, the web also has, I think, tremendous potential because